Welcome to this episode of Feeding the World, Mercosur Business News Stories, filmed right from Todo Láctea at a very special stand that's very close to my heart because I've known these people for quite some time. We'll talk about Villanueva in a minute, but I would like to introduce Simon Goody, who's a sales director for ADF Milking. So welcome, Simon.
Thank you.
Maybe could you introduce yourself and your company, please?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so I'm Simon. I'm the sales director for ADF Milking. We're a UK company founded in 2005 by our founding director, James Duke. And we have a system which automatically post-dips the cow before the unit comes off and then cleans the liner out afterwards, which makes a big impact into mastitis and cell count.
And you're present across Latin America, is that right?
Yes.
Which countries are you currently doing business in?
So we've been in Uruguay for a little while now. We are doing some business in Brazil. We've got some systems in Chile, and we're here with Villanueva to launch the system in Argentina.
What are the opportunities that you see for ADF Milking in particularly Mercosur, so in Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, and Uruguay?
For us, they're key growth markets for the company. South America is a part of the world which we've been looking to get into for a while. To do business in South America, you have to come to South America, which I've been doing extensively over the last 12 months. And we've found the right partners in Argentina, in Brazil, in Uruguay, and we're now ready to really push things forward.
And how did you actually come across Villanueva? I mean, they're a fantastic company that I recommend, but how did you come across them?
So every 2 years in Europe, in Germany, there's a massive agricultural show called Eurotier, which we have quite a big presence at. And Villanueva approached us 2 years ago, came to see us at Eurotier in Hanover, and business started from there.
Funny you mentioned Eurotier because I'm going to be there this year.
So are we, so yeah.
Fantastic, so I'll see you there. I mean, this podcast is actually sponsored by the Uruguay-Germany Chamber of Commerce, and I'm actually in touch with Eurotier. So this just fantastic news. So yeah. From a technical point of view, you know, when you're talking to farmers, particularly in Argentina, in Uruguay, what's the differential? You know, what value does this British technology add to them?
So from talking to the farmers over the last few days and in experience from farms in Uruguay previously, Staph aureus mastitis seems to be a problem in South America, and this system fits perfectly for that, with the automatic dipping and then stopping the cross-contamination. But technology is needed on every farm in the world, and we believe we have the most advanced milking core in the world, so why not have it in South America as well?
How do you go about marketing in general? So, for example, you know, building case studies, translating materials, social media. You know, do you do that locally? Do you leave that to your distributor? Do you do that from head office?
We do that from head office. So we have a fantastic marketing team headed up by a brilliant manager, Justine. We use extensive knowledge and experience. They go out to all the markets. They go and do video testimonials on site. Everything's produced in-house, but then we share all of this work with our distributors.
Is language a problem when you're doing business in this part of the world?
It's a challenge. I wouldn't call it a problem. It's a challenge, but it's a challenge that we're trying to overcome. And we have some Spanish speakers in the office now, so it's it will become easier.
Back in the UK?
Yes.
And you're based in?
The company's based in Sussex, which is about an hour south of London, in the southeast.
Okay. How about two specific questions related to doing business with South America that I often get asked? One is around customs, so anything to do with importing the products. Has that been an issue, particularly in Mercosur?
I wouldn't say it's an issue. It's harder to get products into South America. There seems to be a lot more detail needed. You have to explain everything right down to the nuts and bolts, which is fine. You know, if that's the way you have to do it, that's the way you have to do it. Some countries are slightly easier than others, but yeah, it's something that we just have to deal with.
So your competitors have to do
Exactly.
with the same. And the other question was around pricing. I mean, in general, when I speak to companies in Mercosur in South America, it's like, oh, Britain, royalty, Britain pound, Britain quality, Britain expensive. Do you get that barrier? Do you get those comments, or how do you work around that sort of first barrier around, oh, Britain is expensive?
I wouldn't say that I've experienced that with this system in Latin American countries. Yes, it's a premium product, but the best farms need the best products. So I wouldn't say that's been an issue. So yeah, no problem with that at all.
I like the fact you said the best farms need the best products. So you're already telling me that we got some of the best farms?
Some of the best farms I've seen have been in South America, yes. Honestly.
That's nice feedback, because one of the reasons why I created this podcast was that a lot of Europeans, and that includes Brits, by the way, sometimes we forget, which is also European. I'm a British citizen as well, so we forget that we are Europeans, but there's that image that we're so detached sometimes from South America. We don't know, as Brits, how South Americans, and particularly Mercosur countries, produce. We don't realize just how incredibly competitive farmers can be in this part of the world. So you visited farms, you've been out here. What's your message to Brits in terms of production standards, in terms of how farmers produce here?
Well, so from my experience of what I've seen over the last 12 to 18 months on South American farms, they are very well managed farms, and the producers deeply care about their animals, which is great to see. And if you have that mind ethic with being a dairy farmer, then you're going to strive to do your best. You want to produce the best quality milk you can. So yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, some of the dairies have been fantastic, and it's been a pleasure to visit them, pleasure to go and talk to them, go and show them the product. I think we can do some good business here.
Absolutely. I mean, it sounds like you're already doing it. So what's the plan for the next maybe 12 to 14 months in terms of growth?
So we really want to ramp it up as fast as we possibly can. We're established in Uruguay, but we need to get established in Brazil and Argentina, which we're putting a concerted effort into doing. So yeah, over the next 12 to 18 months, you should be seeing lots more yellow custards on farms in South America.
I really hope so. One final question, which is I know it's not an easy one. One of the things that tends to be a barrier about doing business in Argentina, which scares off a lot of companies from the world, from all over the world, including British companies, is payment. They're just really worried they're not going to get paid. How do you deal with that?
Again, that's not a problem that we've experienced. And I'll be honest, there is this stigma about that. But all I can suggest is, if you want to do business in South America, you need to come to South America. Come and meet the people, come and experience the culture, and you'll soon realize that the doubts you may have about doing business in this part of the world will soon disappear.
I totally agree, and I thank you for your time. I mean, to have a break here, I spotted your accent yesterday, and I thought I need to speak to this guy. And I'm so happy that you're making the effort to travel all those miles, to come all the way from the UK, to as we're trying here to build bridges. And I'm so glad you mentioned David O'Tear as well, because this is a global supply chain. It's not just about it's about making Mercosur farms better using British technology, as you said, met through a German trade show. It's all about integrating. It's about providing solutions and making better farming and more sustainable farming as well.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a global industry, and we're all trying to do the same thing. So yeah, it's great.
Fantastic, Simon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.